I'm going to start off this with something Joe would usually say during practice. This was, Chris, get the F out of here. Because he would kick me out once in a while. That was usually junior year. I matured. For my senior year. But today at Mass, Father Reiser talked about success is not guaranteed, but failure is. And my father's in the back there. You can't believe it. I'm actually listening in Mass, but as I said, I've matured, and so I'm listening during Mass now. But as the video alluded to, that's what we were all about. That was how we built character, right? And that's what McQuaid taught us. And that's what Coach instilled in us. His heart, his passion, everything he was all about was why we were able to come back that season, because we had some early losses, and we persevered, and that's the character that Coach instilled in us. And I appreciate that, and we all appreciate
it. Hopefully, guys caught that on video right there. Chris passing to me. That was few and far between our senior year. So you saw that right there. That was good. Okay. But really, thank you to the committee for giving us this honor. That's a special award and a special thing for our guys to be together, coaches, managers, players alike, and to be here tonight. This is a talented group of guys. I went back and looked at the numbers. We had 27 different players that competed over from 8th grade through 12th grade that culminated in this team that we had, from freshman team to JV team to varsity team. 27 that ended up with 15 when we got to that 96-97 season. And there are guys that aren't up here that probably had just as much to do with us winning because of what they did as 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, and maybe never had a chance to even be on this stage or on this team, but things that they did and the way that they pushed to help get us where we are, that's special. And so it definitely wasn't just this group. But this was a talented group. Our starting lineup was from all over Section 5. We had the town of Hilton, Chilai, City of Rochester, Henrietta, Pittsford, that were all together as a starting 5. Then you had more guys from all over Section 5 that played crucial roles in crucial games throughout the year. But that was a very widespread group that all grew up thinking about winning championships at McQuaid. And so when they all got here, and now you have to buy into a team sport, that was hard to do. I've been around a bunch of college coaches and pro coaches, and what they say at the end of the day, that you need players. If you're going to win a championship, you've got to have talented players to win. And we had talented players, but everyone knows Coach Marchese. His resume speaks for itself. But one of the greatest assets that he had was his ability to take talented players and get them to buy in to the team, right? To get them to put off, their individual accolades or their individual stats for the good of the team. And we saw that, growing up as 8, 9, 10-year-olds, coming to camp and talking to former champions that were here, watching teams on television that were winning championships, and they had great players, and you need that to win. But if you don't have that team mentality in a team sport, you're not going to win. And Coach did a great job year after year after year, and he probably earned his check more with our team than any other team, because of we were stubborn, we were selfish, we were a bunch of seniors that were quite honestly nervous about what next year was, who was recruiting you, where are you going to go to school, and so you had a lot going through your head. But Coach Marchese, Coach Stanton, Coach McKinney, they all showed a great deal of patience as we went through to get to where we are. I still remember we lost here. It was late January. We lost to Wilson on our home court in an embarrassing embarrassing game, and Coach told us in the locker room after, he said, we might not win another game this year. And the next day in practice, we probably were standing right near where we are right now, and he stopped the drill and he said, guys, in all my coaching, I have never had a team where the two best players on the team were the two worst defenders on the team. Okay, and that that finally started to sink in, and I know Chris and I looked at each other, and other seniors started talking and said, you understand, we could not win another game, and everything that we've gone through from 8th grade through 12th grade in these halls, or in 4th grade through 8th grade at Coach Marchese's basketball camp in the summer, everything that we wanted to do was hang a banner and win a championship. And we might not win another game. And something, the way that resonated, that practice, those conversations after, things started clicking. We started actually buying in on the defensive end. And it's funny now, as I'm a coach, you start to instill in players and coach up players in ways where whatever you are weak in, you try to make sure that they're strong in. And so now, 80% of my practices are all about defense, and we work on defense day in and day out, and I harp on that. And that's something that that Coach Marchese instilled in me and our team was the value of defending. And once that happened, we entered the postseason. As the video said, we were the 8th seed in our section. We weren't even ranked in the state. Obviously we started winning games. We were able to avenge a loss to East in the sectional championship game, and then we started rolling on. Henninger was number 1 in the state. We played them in the semifinals. We went down right to Glens Falls, and we were up by 22 before they could even blink. And then it was just holding on. Then we played the number 5 seed Hempstead in the state championship game, and won the state championship game. But we were a team then, and a lot of the things that we had been learning in practice, a lot of things that our parents had taught us growing up, a lot of things that the teachers in the halls and the classrooms were instilling with us. We finally bought in and got that, and special things happened. When that was the case. And by team, we had a great team. We had seniors, we had juniors that were stepping up and ready and willing to take on roles. We had assistant coaches, we had managers who knew their part, and they were valued accordingly. But when we got to that point, the team concept kicked in, and we were successful. And there are so many, and some players are in the room right now, that were great players at McQuaid that weren't able to win a championship. And to now look back and know that we were one of 3 that won a state championship, that's special, and that's something that we'll have forever. It was not a coincidence that when we started making calls about coming back for this, that we had guys willing to come back, fly from all over the country to be here, to be a part of this, because they know even 20 years later what it meant to be on a team, what it meant to finish strong, and what it meant to be able to give back to this school, to be able to be on a stage with probably the best coach in Western New York history, and Coach Marchese, to be able to celebrate with him. Please, give him a hand. And what they say is that as a coach, when players know how much you care about them, right, you can really change lives. And as a coach, you don't know really how well you did, right? Winning a championship, that's one thing, but you don't know how you did as a coach for 10, 20, 30 years down the road, right? When all of a sudden those players, right, are now fathers, when they're now husbands, they're now employees now, and you can start to see, right, what that coach did every day on this hardwood floor, or what they did in the locker room before games or at halftime of games, because you're making an impact for a lifetime. And when I think about all of these guys up here and where they're at professionally, where they're at with their families, that is a testament right, to Coach Marchese, to what he's done, above and beyond, right, the numbers up here and the records and everything, but to be able to, right, be a man for others, to be able to impact lives that now future generations are impacted for. I mean, that's really what this is all about. I think that's really why we are here, is to celebrate, that, and now we can then carry that on. A lot of us as coaches, teachers, fathers, working with youth, doing the same thing with that goal in mind. And so it's a special night for us. I appreciate you guys all coming out, and thank you very much.